All right. Well, welcome to our special event, our special announcements for the winners of Show Me Neighborhood Art Week. We have several people from around the state online live with us, or you may be watching this as a recording. But we'll jump right into that presentation. And this is meant to be a discussion and a joint effort. It doesn't just have to be uh, me doing all the presenting or talking. But this is the second year for Show Me Neighborhood Art Week. I think I would call it a success. I hope others would as well. And we always learn things when we do a program that we might try differently the following year. But we're always open to suggestions from others as well, because we want to make this better each and every year. Just a little bit of history. Show Me Neighborhood Art Week is a art-focused program of University of Missouri Extension. Our stated goal is to promote creative expression and public art made by residents, regardless of skill level, as a contribution to the sense of place and the residents' sense of belonging. Um, we see this program as an effort to promote the engagement of neighbors, but also promote fostering a sense of belonging and inclusion with neighbors within communities, and a great way to use art as a tool to increase sense of belonging. And I think some of us are very familiar with some of the research around that and how art helps increase the sense of belonging. Since we're giving a little history, just a tip of the hat as to what inspired Show Me Neighborhood Art Week. It began with Lawn, which was lawn art with neighbors in Springfield, Missouri from 2020 to 2023. It was a partnership of several organizations, Sculpture Walk, the Springfield Art Museum, the Art and Design Department at Missouri State University, and Greene County Extension Council. Um, that went for 3 years. One of the ways that is different from Show Me Art Week is it did not have did not involve prizes of any sort, and it did involve a lot of college students, but also some throughout the community as well. But it was hyper focused, hyper local on the Springfield area. But that it was kind of where the original idea originated from, and so we launched Show Me Neighborhood Art Week. When I say we, there's a team, and I've got some pictures at the end to show, and some of those team members are online today too. So that team launched Show Me Neighborhood Art Week in 2024. Um, and that year we had participation from every one of the extension regions in the state. We had 73 total registered sites, over 1,100 people, almost 1,200 people that took time to vote on their favorite art. And then the survey showed 72% of participants reported increased sense of belonging and love for their communities by participating in the program. And some of our award winners around the state, bright and colorful and fun, everything from paintings to a scarecrow that incorporated sweet gum balls, which I love, and murals done by students, and the rock snake up here in the right hand side in Ludlow, I understand is still in place and continues to grow as residents add rocks to the Ludlow snake. This was our grand prize winner in Union, Missouri, that I know Deanna got to go and visit and give the grand prize best of show award to in person. I think they were pretty elated last year. Is that correct? Yep, Deanna's just smiling.
Yes, they were thrilled and their prize was so cool. So they were happy they won. They were happy to show off the mural and they were just elated at their prize.
That sculpture last year was really a cool prize, definitely. Deanna drove all over the state, I think, distributing prizes and did the really hard work to make that happen, to bring the project full circle. And this is one thing that kind of helps measure success or interest, at least, is that at least the blog post that we put up that announced the winners, there's been over 2,000 different individuals that have read that blog since 2024. So there's been a lot of interest in the program and discussion, but I know June can be a difficult month for some people. There's probably not a perfect time to do this event, but I know it has generated a lot of conversation. Well, here in 2025, it looks a little bit different than last year, but still, we had participation from every extension region in the state. We had 68 total registered sites, 434 total registered votes. Interestingly, this year we had 14 votes from people out of state. Um, I know one of those sites was here at the Botanical Center in Springfield. Visitors that came through scanned a code and voted. So kind of fun to have out-of-state people, and our number jumped up to 76% of those who participated saying they had a increased sense of belonging. So I think it's time to jump right on to some uh, winners and announcements of those. Uh, the Northeast Regional winner, uh, Jane, I'm not sure how to pronounce the last name. Lovestroon? Love Stoon? Stein? I'm not sure. Jane, I'm sorry for massacring your name. Um, this is in the Kirksville area, the Northeast region. Uh, Jane's not on, is she? I was hoping she would share her story about how she came up with all of these bowling balls to incorporate into her lawn sculpture piece symbol. We'll have to hear that from Jane another time, but she did create this special for Show Me Neighborhood Art Week, and we love the creativity and the recycling aspect of that. Um, that's one of the things we considered. Even last year, we talked about that a lot, was projects and art that sort of recycled and reused. Loving that aspect of it. Well, let's see. We'll move on to Northwest. There we go. Northwest, the 3C Power and Partnership Group in Gallatin, Missouri. A whole mural, community involved. Um, Students helped paint on this as well. Uh, and I think Jackie's probably been to Gallatin a few times. What's the size of Gallatin, Jackie?
Oh, I would say somewhere around 14 or 1500, and I could be wrong. But really, I'm good friends with the director for 3C Powered Partnership, and
Oh,
the work that Shauna and these kids are doing. It's a drug-free coalition, and she is working on finding activities and ways to keep them engaged in their community and show them that there are better things than getting involved in substance use and misuse, and they're doing great things. She started that 3C Power in partnership about 4 years ago, and they've been really taking off. And so when I saw this pop up, I was like, oh, exciting! So because it's such a great message that they're trying to promote, as well as engaging the kids in community art, I think is a wonderful partnership. So.
yeah. And to pull something like that off in a town of that size, I'm sure it involved many others in the community, from donating paint to other aspects too. It's colorful. It kind of has a little bit of a Dr. Seuss feel to it, doesn't it?
Mhm.
With the trees and stuff, and a great message: faith over fear, spread your wings and dreams. So, um, really felt like that represented the Northwest region very well, and glad to be able to recognize them as a prize winner. We'll move on. Southeast regional winner, uh, mural on the side of the yellow She Shack Mercantile in the small town of I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Is it Marcan? Marcune?
I think
Um,
they say Marquand.
Marquant. Really?
Hmm.
All right. The individual that painted this and submitted the painting noted that he is Native American, has that heritage, and that's kind of depicted even in the painting. Very unique colors and patterns. And again, uh, it doesn't have to be for Show Me Neighborhood Art Week, but community murals, kind of the theme here a little bit with some of these communities. And if a week like this helps encourage a community to get organized and do something like that, then we love that. Love the community art. I was just recently in Jacksonville, Florida for Neighborhoods USA conference, and there were murals on buildings all over Jacksonville and downtown, and just the color that adds, and sometimes the messages that it communicates, really a positive thing. So wonderful mural here, and we're glad to be able to recognize them in Southwest Regional Winter. Southwest Regional Winter, I'm sorry I have her names backward, is Janelle Patterson. And Janelle, isn't she on? No? Um, I think one of the things that helped Janelle's uh, giant plastic dandelions that she created in her yard stand out is she included a poem along with them. You can see the board here at the front of her yard with the code to scan for people to vote. She had a artist statement about what that was, and then included a poem about the importance of being unimportant. Um, and that went along with the dandelion. So it added yet another kind of dimension to that piece of public art. Um, it's kind of whimsy a little bit, I guess, and uh, fun, and then the poem adds another dimension to it. I would love for Janelle to have been on here to add her artist statement to that because she said it more eloquently than I am. She is a second year participant. I know she participated last year as well. So that's the Southwest region. So we'll move on to the next one, which is the Urban East winter. Again, we have a theme, not exactly a mural like some of the others. They did seasonal paintings and they're mounted a little differently, but the Crossroads Art Council helped to fund this work by Amanda Lovell in Wentzville, Missouri. Anybody want to speak up for Wentzville?
Well, of course, because I'm in St. Charles County, and so is Wentzville. And this organization also contributed last year. So we're very happy to have return artists contributing. So Amanda, thank you very much. And I love all these. I love having paintings on bricks. And I love that you're representing Wentzville and St. Charles County. So thank you.
Hi, I'm actually on. Can you guys hear me?
Oh,
Yes.
there's Amanda.
Oh,
Yes.
hi. I just wanted to correct you guys. So, I did have an entry in this, but I was one of the rock gardens on the other
Mm.
side of the building with the historical society. So this side of the building is the Arts Council, and I'm part of them, but my name shouldn't have been on here. It should be Crossroads Arts Council because this was their entry. We actually
Okay.
are. It's at the same address. They're on one side of the building. We're on the other.
All right. Well,
So
sorry
just
for the
for, you might want to
confusion there.
correct that before you share it,
Yeah.
just to give them their credit.
Yes, absolutely. Amanda, was your project the rock garden where there's
Yes.
painted rocks and you could pick one of the rocks?
Yes, that's mine.
Oh, that was great. I
I
wish I
love
Yeah.
had
that too.
I wish I had a picture.
Oh,
Well,
that's okay.
I can pull one up here later, but yeah, that was a great idea and loved that work. Well, this address was pretty lively when it came to public art
That's
this
good.
year. Um, so is this entry from the Crossroads Art Council something that stays up? It's fairly permanent now that once it's in
Yes,
place.
yes, it's a permanent fixture in the city now. Yeah, they had a contest for entries, it was I think the seasons of the colors of Crossroads. It's kind of by each season. So yeah, they had a contest and then the winners were they weren't painted. I'm not sure exactly what they are. I think they were painted on something else and then put on the building. But yeah, they do stay up.
All right. Yeah, maybe MDF board or
Sure. Yeah, something
MDO
like
board,
that.
perhaps.
Yep.
Love that. Well, we will be sure and change that in the blog post and the media release when it goes out to note that this is by the Crossroads Arts Council. So,
Awesome. Thank
but
you.
Amanda, great to have you on. Thanks for clarifying
No problem.
that. Urban East Regional winner. Um, And then the Urban West regional winner, uh, Barb Burney. Again, I've got the names reversed here, I think, um, out of Lee's Summit. Uh, Elena, I think that was kind of in your neck of the woods in Urban West. Lee's Summit had several different things going on, although this may have been the only one from Lee's Summit that got officially registered. Is that
I think they struggled a little bit with registration, but um, Lee Summit, Downtown Lee Summit, their commission really wanted to get involved with a neighborhood art week too. So they submitted like a chalk mural, right? I want to say the Downtown Lee Summit Commission, but I don't know much about this artist though, but it's pretty neat that it's a public art in their own yard. It doesn't look like they're on the call either.
no?
But yeah, I was happy to see that because Lee Summit definitely helped promote this and shared it a bunch. So yeah, yes to the chalk mural. Um, um, which was really neat. But yeah, I love that it's just a little ladybug is what it looks like.
Yeah. She sent two photos, one's at night with it all lit up,
Yes,
the
yeah,
bulbs light
yeah,
up.
she's really neat.
But yes, you're right. I think Lee's Summit had promoted kind of a, did they organize a chalk festival or they were just encouraging chalk art?
I think they opened it to the public to participate in the mural. So it was a chalk, like it was a community engagement to participate in it. So they were really, when we pitched it to them, they were really excited about getting involved with it. So
Yeah,
we're trying in Urban West, we're trying to get every county council involved in some capacity to have art at their site. But I don't know if we succeeded with that. But we pitched it at every county council meeting, like you can participate as council members. So yeah.
that is one of the challenges in that we're encouraging people, yes, to do the art, but also to be sure and register ahead of time, so we know about it. We can get you on the map. And I know every year we've had some that have, after the fact, said, "Oh, I participated, but I didn't register, the art, so we didn't know about it." Um, so that's one of the challenges, I guess. But we love, there's still benefit to it even when they're not registered, but we just want to be able to recognize and track those good quality entries. So love to see the Chalk Festival developing there in Lee's Summit. And they're doing a lot of good work there with their neighboring department, neighboring program.
And we might be working with them on asset mapping too in 2026, working with Downtown Lee Summit. So
Well, excellent.
excited to continue the partnership with that community. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
David, I want to interrupt for a moment.
Yes.
When you're ready, I've emailed you Amanda's picture, or I can share my screen, either one.
Oh, okay. Uh,
When
uh,
we're done with all the rest.
we could we could stop here and share that so that it's in the right spot. You should have permission to share now.
I love this. Can you all?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, that's my garden.
Oh,
Amanda, did you do one like this last year?
I did. Yeah, it's actually, it stays up year round. So it's been there and, the artwork and it changes from time to time just because it usually gets emptied out and I have to add more to it.
I want you to know last year's picture, I use that in a PowerPoint that I do for
Oh,
talking about neighboring.
oh, that's
So
awesome.
I love that picture. I love this picture, and I thought you were the same person that did it.
Yes.
So anyway, I just want you to know I love it. I don't think I
Yeah.
could. I'm not talented enough to paint rocks that pretty, but I love yours, so I use it in a presentation.
I appreciate it. Yeah, we have a Facebook page. So on the back of the rocks, I say like, share a picture on Wentzville Rocks Facebook. And then, so when I hide rocks around town, because that's what I do as well, I paint rocks and hide them around town. People will, if
Aw,
they find them, some people will get on Facebook and actually post the rocks. So it's really fun.
so we
that's
can
neat.
follow you on Wentzville Rocks.
Yep, Wentzville Rocks. It's a Facebook group.
How long have you been doing that? I knew of Bolivar, Missouri, did a Bolivar Rocks for a number of years. How
Yeah,
long have you been doing
it's
this?
been 6 or 7 years now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it used to have a lot more community involvement. Several years ago, it was a big thing, right around COVID and things like that. Um, but yep, I still do it and keep the page going. And we actually just got back from vacation, and I took a bunch with me. We drove down to Destin, Florida, so we hid a bunch all the way down, on our ride down. So there's been some posted from Alabama and Florida, and that's been fun to see too.
Wow, that is
Well,
great context to know.
Yeah.
yeah, and I'll go like your page and then I'll share some stuff on our MU extension in St. Charles County page.
Oh,
And
perfect.
when
Yeah,
you
we get
see
some
that
more.
page, you could like it.
Yeah, I think I do, but yes, I will. Yeah,
Okay.
you guys can post on there, and I will share whenever your socials go out about this contest ending. I'm going to share it on there as well.
Okay.
And
Great, thank you.
I see Lee's Summit does kindness rocks as well. We do a monthly program called Neighboring 101. We need to get both of you on there talking about your rock projects, how those came about, and the impact of that, what you've seen as a result of that. Those are great examples. I love having that context, Amanda. That really uh, kind of completes the story or fills the story out even more than the information we had from registration. So thank you for being online and sharing that. That's great. Let's jump back on here. So, all right. So those are the various regional winners, I believe, and then on to People's Choice and Best of Show. The People's Choice Award is determined based on votes through the QR code that is circulated to each of the artists. They can share out at their location. Um, Different groups, I think, have done that differently, but the top vote getter this year is this collection of barn quilts at the Springfield Botanical Center in Springfield. I know they had a code underneath these at the front desk that you could scan for more information and also to vote. Each one of those barn quilts is done by one of the tenants in the Springfield Botanical Center, and each of them wrote a little artist statement. So you have represented here Friends of the Garden, Springfield Greene County Park Board, MU Extension, Master Gardeners, Sister Cities, 4-H, and then the Botanical Center itself. Each of those entities represented here, and that is the People's Choice Award. This was discussed and developed as what was going to be a uh, temporary display. And after all the groups got their barn quilts finished, we put them together. The director said those are too good to make it temporary. Let's figure out a place to permanently display them. And so now it's a permanent display within the Botanical Center. And that is the People's Choice Award. And then on to the Best of Show. And Best of Show isn't just really one item. The city of Marble Hill uh, organized itself this year. They're in the southeast portion of the state, and they actually submitted 13 different registered sites for Marble Hill this year. Uh, Everything from murals, as seen here, to some butterflies that were painted around the city as well. These 13 registered sites from Marble Hill. And so there's not just the mural is not just the best of show. It's the whole city of Marble Hill is the best of show. All of these entities and businesses had displays up of different sorts for Show Me Neighborhood Art Week. Several of them on Main Street. Several of them were outdoor paintings. Some of them were storefronts where they displayed family. This is from the McFarland family, and they have several painters in their family. So this is one of their window displays of the different art from that family. This is from the Peters Hardware Store where they displayed um, um, wood cuttings, wood carvings. and from several people in the community, including the owner of the hardware store. They put up special for this. Even another storefront where they showcase some paintings, 13 different sites throughout Marble Hill that were organized as part of Show Me Neighborhood Art Week and put in place to celebrate in that first 2 weeks of June. So we really appreciate their citywide organizational effort as well as the quality of their uh, work, feeling like that was worthy of the best of show.
And I'd like to add, they contacted me the day before the deadline. So the deadline, I believe, was May 25th to submit art. And they contacted me the 24th or the 25th, one or the other, and said, "Oh my gosh, I just found this flyer about this program, and we're not going to be able to have everybody register in time because we can't reach out to everybody in time. But if I register as a city, could we do that? And then just submit the pictures by the end of the month, you know?" And so they literally did all this in just a few days to get it all done by before June 1st. It was amazing. They
Yes.
just they so to your point, David, not only were they organized, but they organized in a very short time, and it's like they got an army together in you know, at a crisis call, you know. It was exciting to hear from them.
Well, and this happened a couple of days after you were contacted. I won't say her name, but the principal organizer of all this then went into the hospital for a surgery. I got an
Mm.
email from her hospital bed. She was organizing and cracking the whip from her hospital bed for the community. So a great small town there in Marble Hill, but a great community-wide effort. So salute to them with the best of show, and we'll be getting their award to them here pretty soon. And then those that voted online were also recipients of $25 gift cards. These were dropped in the mail on Monday. They may have received them today. $25 gift cards to Marcia Smith and Poplar Bluff and Sandy, Houston and Springfield, Dana Kramer and Lee Summit, uh, Jeannie Pagan in Columbia, Annabelle Brookmeyer in St. Charles, and Wanda Patterson in Edgar Springs. These were randomly selected from those who marked that they wanted to be entered into the drawing. Not everyone wanted to be. They voted, but those who marked yes, we entered them into the drawing. And so, what feedback would participants have for us? This is the team that helps organize Show Me Neighborhood Art Week every year, and several, Elena and Jackie and Deanna, are on the presentation here. What feedback would you have for us?
So I think there's only three of you that are not on our team. So you have plenty of time to respond. Each of you can give us some feedback and maybe help us promote it next year because we'd like to have a few more participants next year.
The only thing that I was thinking of is since it doesn't happen during the school year, it was tough I tried to reach out to the art teachers because I thought that they would be our biggest proponents and get students involved. But everybody was going to be fleeing to vacations the minute school let out, and nobody was going to be in town the first 2 weeks of June. So and I reached out to them like right after spring break. So that was probably too late in March. But yeah, maybe if I start earlier, I could find a way to get the art teachers in the school and the art classes involved.
It's a mixed bag. We had one of the murals last year, sort of the lake of the Ozarks region, was done with students that were in summer school. So the teacher knew about ahead of time. She organized it and got them to do it as part of summer school. So you have that opportunity, but and May is a busy time, right, as school wraps up. Um, I know Lisa last year, and Elena, I think perhaps was involved in going to a conference and talking to a lot of art teachers across Missouri. trying to get their involvement. We haven't hit on the perfect solution for that yet. Yes, people who participated this year and voted are added to an email for email reminders for next year, and we'll start that pretty early. I think we started maybe even in March with some reminders this year to be sure and get registered. Any other thoughts or feedback?
I've got a question for Amanda. How do you get your rocks? Do people donate your rocks? Do you go to riverbeds and look for those perfectly shaped, oval,
I
smooth rocks?
I actually do purchase them from a landscaping store here that we have local. I think it's called World Outdoor Emporium. Um, I go and they have the big bins of rocks that people buy in bulk, and I take my husband's work gloves and I go sort through the rocks by hand to pick out the smooth ones. Um, so I do that, and I've experimented with. I've bought some online. My husband thinks I'm crazy paying for rocks, but um, I have purchased some online, and I do have a dry creek bed behind my house, and I go back there occasionally and pull out some flat ones that are easy to paint on, and I use paint pens a lot, so just ones that won't like tear up my paint pen tips, anything smooth.
Yeah.
Do you paint them all, or do you have other people that paint with you?
Um, there's several people around town that also paint and contribute as well, but I think I'm the main contributor at the moment. But
Well,
yeah,
they're
some
just
others
so
paint.
amazing. I mean, I cannot imagine being able, I'm not an artist, but I just think the artwork you do is impressive on I mean, the to paint something really pretty is hard enough, but to do it on a
hmm
rock. So I'm really impressed by your work.
Thank you. Yeah, I really enjoy it. A lot of people have asked me to like try to sell them or things like that, but then it's just not fun. It's to me, it's just a rock. So if there's an imperfection, it doesn't matter. It's a rock. So that's why it's a fun little creative outlet for me.
Yeah. Well,
But
we're
yeah,
so,
definitely share the Winsville Rocks Facebook page and check that out. And I'll share your guys' info as well.
yeah. What, you've been doing this for a number of years. Do you often
hmm
get feedback from people that find the rocks or pick
Oh
one
yeah.
up? You
So
hear,
when someone posts it, it's always like, "Thank you so much for the smile." A lot of times it's, "Oh, I really needed this message today. Thank you so much." Or there's been some really sweet stories. Some people have found them on their way. Like I'll drop them anywhere I go, like a doctor's office, that kind of thing. Um, but they'll say, my son was headed in for an appointment and he was really nervous and this just changed the whole mood of the day and thank you so much. And so, that's really the reason I like to do it, just to get that positive feedback and know that I'm, spreading kindness. That's also the other thing I write on the back of the rocks is to spread kindness.
that is awesome. That is a great
Amanda,
initiative.
Yeah.
I think I would love to, if you'd let me, like go to World Outdoor Emporium and buy some of those rocks and give them to you.
Oh,
And then when you paint some of them, I could take them back to MU Extension and hide them
sure.
in our gardens for our gardeners to find.
Oh, definitely. That's an awesome idea.
All right, I'll reach out to you about that.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, we're glad to know this connection. I sense a, a potential partnership or
Yeah.
ongoing communication here about
Yeah,
Winsville rocks.
I don't plan to stop painting rocks anytime soon. So,
And sounds like Lee Summit rocks as well. So that's cool on both sides of the state,
yeah.
at least those two that we know of. So, all right.
Awesome.
Well, um, we're glad to have you on today, Amanda. And Laura, thank you for joining us from Excelsior Springs as well. Uh, we'll look forward to some entries from both of you again next year.
Yeah.
I know Laura's working on a way to expand involvement at Excelsior Springs and great potential there. So thank you very much. We'll bring the recording to an end here.